This is 7 News, the voice of regional WA.
Tonight, a group of foreign nationals found wandering in the Kimberley, marching in silence to stop violence against women. A sheep on the lam, Geraldton Police led on a 10-minute foot chase.
And coming up soon, I'll have all the latest weather details for your weekend forecast.
7 News begins now.
Hello and welcome to 7 News. Canberra has confirmed an investigation is underway to find out how a dozen people believed to be asylum seekers managed to arrive in the Kimberley without detection. It's understood 4 of the travellers are still missing in the bush. The rest are in custody.
A boatload of suspected asylum seekers managed to roam the Kimberley for days, undetected.
Some of them made their way to Truscott Air Base. And they weren't in very good shape.
A local Aboriginal group staff is understood to be the first to spot them.
There's an investigation going on. We don't comment on Operation Sovereign Borders matters. 7
News understands the Bangladeshi and Pakistani men were dropped off by Indonesian fishermen on Tuesday at the remote Anjo Peninsula. 8 are in custody, 4 others are unaccounted for. The opposition has accused Canberra of losing control of its borders.
And they've got here undetected. That's the direct result, I would suspect, of the $600 million reduction in funding to our Border Force agencies.
Very exposed in the Kimberley, where it's a massive coastline, a huge risk to individuals that try this dangerous journey.
If people seek to come to Australia by boat, the boat is either turned back or people are returned to their country of origin or they're settled in a third country.
The Australian Border Force says it won't comment on operational matters. Jenny Shon, 7 News.
An update now on the fire emergency that's gripped parts of Perth's northern suburbs for the last few days. The fire has now been downgraded to a watch and act, but authorities say that could change. 18 houses and 31 other buildings have been destroyed by the flames. More than 170 firefighters are still working on the fire ground. And for victims of the fire, pledges of funding from the state government and access to special housing.
It was built with COVID quarantine in mind. Its first use has been as a safe place for those ravaged by the brutal fire emergency in Perth's north. The $400 million Bullsbrook Quarantine Facility, or the Bullsbrook Resilience Centre as it's now known, became home for 41 people last night who didn't have a place to go after they were forced to leave their homes as fire descended.
It's really, the facilities are very, very nice. Everything is so brand new. They were people everywhere. The Red Cross are lovely. They sit with you. There's food available. They've got people making food. There's also groceries. The rooms are very, very comfortable, very nice. Showers. There's even family rooms, so you don't have to be in individual rooms, and you can have your pets.
Bullsbrook isn't the only evacuation facility. The Gum Blossom Community Centre in Quinns Rocks is still open. 42 people were there last night, although they're all being encouraged to head to Bullsbrook. Some are rushing straight back home, worried about looting.
The anxiety of knowing that the house has survived is gone, but the anxiety that it may get looted is back. So,
for those who need or want to stay, Bullsbrook is equipped to handle it. 500 beds allows even some emergency services teams to get some rest here.
White Ribbon Day takes place every year to promote men challenging the status quo. Women in WA suffer the highest rate of domestic violence than any other state in the nation.
15 lives lost in WA this year, all of them from domestic violence. Today's domestic violence walk in Geraldton was the 30th. To shine a light on something most choose to hide.
Family and domestic violence for so long has been kept behind closed doors. There's a lot of shame and a lot of stigma attached to it. And these events, we are here to say you are not alone. We are here to support you. There is support out there.
Events like these shows victims just how much support they have. Geraldton's walk ended today with people helping one another.
Hundreds of people have walked silently through Bunbury streets. They're here to show their support for family and domestic violence.
A door next to the stage showed the trauma of a victim. Words of encouragement on the door to help let other survivors know people are there for them.
to prevent men's violence against women.
The walk focuses on how men can lead the way to change.
It's really a way for particularly men to reflect on how they can help women and about how they can reflect on assisting others to change behaviours that they see and to call out those behaviours whenever they see it.
Police say one of the ways we can help is to donate to them mobile phones to help those in need get the chance to reach out.
And they will then refurbish them, send them back out to community organisations, including ourselves, and we can then provide those to members of the public who are trying to escape family violence.
If you want to drop off your phone, just visit your local police station. Maya Grieve, 7 News.
And if you or anyone you know needs support, contact 1800-RESPECT. That's 1800-737-732. Mining magnate Gina Rinehart has reportedly taken a majority stake in Bunbury Farmers Market. Hancock Prospecting has reached a deal with the current owners. The precise terms haven't been disclosed. The iconic farmers market joins other food producers and retailers under the Hancock banner, including 2GR Wagyu Beef and Bannister Downs Dairy in Northcliffe. A South West Council is cracking down on unruly cats and their owners. Dardanup Shire has updated its local cat laws. The aim is to protect our state's delicate flora and fauna.
Yes, they're cute and yes, they're cuddly, but nuisance cat behaviour is a problem in the southwest. So much so, the Shire of Dardanup has updated its local cat laws.
We've added some Shire reserves as no-go zones for cats, and some fees and charges have just been reaffirmed. It's about responsible ownership and protecting that fauna. That's the two biggies.
The Shire joins a string of other southwest councils that have updated their laws in the last few years. Owners face a $200 fine if their cat is caught in a prohibited area, as well as if they're behaving in a harmful or annoying way in public.
There has been some issues with cats being impounded and unregistered. It's not a massive problem, but it's certainly there, and this will enable us to deal with those problems.
It's a move local vets have welcomed. Cats kill over 300 million of our native animals every year.
It's pretty heartbreaking seeing these animals come in on a really regular basis when the reality is they haven't evolved to have cats as major predators. They're not set up for it, and we just shouldn't be having to deal with it, and these animals shouldn't be dying because people aren't keeping their cats contained.
Current legislation prohibits full cat containment and curfews. That's prompted vets to ask if the laws go far enough.
I think ultimately containing cats within a yard is really what's going to be needed for the benefit of the wildlife and for the cats themselves.
The Shire says the move is not about punishing cat lovers, but encouraging responsible ownership.
We don't dislike cats, but it's just a part of where we're at in today's society.
Pip Waller, 7 News.
The life of a police officer in regional WA is a many and varied one, and for Geraldton Police, chasing a sheep on foot, which then resisted arrest, goes to show no 2 days are ever the same. The officers refused to give up when this sheep was looking to fleece unsuspecting locals, but she was quick and elusive. Some officers were bowled over and others well and truly outrun. The more than 10-minute chase ended with an arrest, but not before the accused put up a fight, being loaded into the police car. It's unclear if the sheep will be charged. A charity concert organiser has gone the extra mile to raise money for Albany Hospice. On top of the event showcasing local talent, he's riding an e-scooter from Manjimup to Albany and collecting donations on the way.
Suited up in a superhero costume, Wade Morrison hopes to be just that. For the last 2 years, he's raised funds for the hospice through a charity concert. Now, Wade's adding an e-scooter marathon from Manjimup to Albany.
So Dave Stock came about when we spent a couple of weeks at the Albany Community Hospice with my dad before he passed away. And the work that the ladies and men do up there is a really thankless task, and I don't think they probably get recognised enough for it.
Last year's Dave Stock concert raised $12,000. Wade hopes to top that. He's completing a 230-kilometre journey on an e-scooter, bike, even a bit of running.
We've been shaking the tin as we go, and a few of the places where we've held events actually put on the food and all of their resources, and they've taken all the funds from all the food they've sold, and they're actually donating it to the cause.
The Dave Stock concert takes place tomorrow at Retrovision Stadium. It'll showcase local talent with covers and original music. The concert was inspired by Wade and his dad's love of performing.
Dad and I played probably close to 600 shows together over from the early 2000s, and even when I was a young guy I played with Dad a fair bit.
Now he's using his family's love of music to raise funds for some of Albany's most selfless volunteers. Grace Armstrong, 7 News.
Julian Vicentini joins me now with a look at today's weather.
Thanks, Amanda. It was slightly cooler around parts of WA as that heat wave in the lower, central and southwestern parts of WA was stood down this afternoon. Tonight, expect some more showers or thunderstorms to hit parts of the Kimberley and North Interior. Stormy top of 41 today in Fitzroy Crossing. Broome reached its maximum of 38 degrees at 11:30 this morning. 42 the top in Karratha and Marble Bar, and a mostly sunny 41 degrees in Onslow. 27 the top today in Carnarvon and Geraldton. Morawa reached over 40 degrees for the 5th day in a row, and moving inland a low of 16 before a top of 33 degrees in Kalgoorlie. Slightly cooler in Bunbury today, 27 the top. Still warm in Collie, 38 degrees, and an overnight low of 9 in Ravensthorpe, and it was a windy 27 degrees in Esperance. To local waters, the Kimberley saw 39 mils fall in Kingston Rest in the 24 hours until 9 a.m. Columbaroo, 27 mils, also in Kununurra, and there was a slight sprinkle in the Central West and the Great Southern. To the weather wall, hello to Nikolai, Harlan and Logan from Cassia Education Support Centre, and a big hello to these students. Terrific work, everyone. Amanda, I'll have all the latest weather details for your weekend right after sport.
Sounds good. Thanks, Julian. You're watching 7 News live across regional WA. Still to come, protecting yourself against a potentially deadly virus this summer. And our Midwest on the big screen.
I know you can win. You know you can win. There is nothing stopping you. It's fast. Yes. It's free. Yes. It's easy to play.
Free cricket tipping. Big prizes. Get a taste of victory this summer at thegame.com.au.
As temperatures continue to rise across the state, we're being urged to take care around warm, fresh water to prevent a potentially deadly infection. Amoebic meningitis is rare, but it's caused by an organism which can be found in warm lakes, farm dams, even backyard garden hoses. If it gets up your nose, it can destroy brain tissue. To prevent infection, avoid putting your head underwater when swimming, or swim in the ocean or chlorinated pools instead. Time now for a look at the markets. Here's Drew Robertson from CBH.
Hello. WA growers have delivered over 8 million tonnes of grain so far this harvest. It's been a very hot week across most of the grain belt, adding to the pace of harvest. Most growers are now expected to wrap up harvest before Christmas. Local wheat prices firm this week, driven by WA's reduced production potential. Despite recent increases in Russian and EU wheat prices, these origins remain much cheaper than Australian wheat, contributing to weak demand. Local barley prices have fallen slightly this week, thanks to the strengthening Australian dollar. Offshore, increased competition for a share of China's feed barley market is putting pressure on Australian prices. Demand for malting barley remains limited. To canola, and Canadian markets are floundering, which has seen a dive in local GM prices. If China enters the market, much needed price support for WA growers may follow. In the fertiliser market, phosphate prices are firm, with Australian buyers locking in cargoes for next season. Urea and potash prices have both fallen, while the UAN market remains unchanged. And that's a wrap for this week's grain and fertiliser markets.
A new short film produced in the Midwest is set to premiere this weekend. No Man's Land takes inspiration from replica World War I trenches near Geraldton.
4 years of hard work led to this very moment. The sign for No Man's Land has gone up, alongside some well-known blockbusters at Arana Cinemas in Geraldton. For Shane Day and Christian Kennedy, their short film has finally become reality.
Full charge! It's awesome having the opportunity to screen a low-budget indie film in such a big screen where you'd see Hollywood blockbusters and with a big sound system and everything like that.
The 30-minute special was inspired by pop culture, including comic books and the Alien movie franchise.
The two genres together, sort of World War I action war film with sci-fi film. I'm a huge sci-fi fan.
The Midwest sparked Christian's interest when he saw 11th Battalion trenches, a model from World War I in Codgerina, east of Geraldton.
A location as epic as that really added to the production value, and the overall look and feel of the film is pretty cool.
The pair spent a year on pre-production, 11 days worth of filming with a cast of 30.
When we shot the film, it was in November, it was stinking hot, but everyone just forged through that.
Then many more years of post-production to incorporate special effects. The fan film was crowdsourced, local businesses pitched in. The film premieres tomorrow, with all proceeds going back to Geraldton's Living History Group.
Entirely rely on public support for us to keep the trench alive and to keep the tours available.
Josh Van Staden, 7 News.
Sport is up next. Tonight, the Scorchers in action as finals hang in the balance. And ready for redemption, the Thundersticks all fired up for the semi-finals. The Scorchers are staring down the barrel of 3 consecutive WBBL defeats as the wickets tumble at the Adelaide Oval. Perth were on the back foot from the get-go, losing 4 early wickets after the Strikers sent them in to bat first. Beth Mooney struggled to fire again, gone for 1 run. Bunbury's Chloe Paparo entered the crease as the 3rd batter, but she too struggled to get off the mark.
Bold! Came back, great pace. Darcy Brown is back in a big way.
The Scorchers' last chance of finishing on top of the ladder is now in jeopardy. They'll be looking to defend a total of 104 runs. Well, it's all on the line for the Perth Thundersticks women's side as they look to redeem themselves in tomorrow's semi-final. The best teams of the Hockey One season will battle for this year's titles in Canberra, and they hope the excitement can further inspire our country's future hockey champions.
It's a do-or-die clash and the Thundersticks are out for redemption. Just 6 days ago, these two sides met. Brisbane put 6 goals in the back of the net.
It's just about tight defence and, yeah, hopefully we can keep it together.
It'll be a new-look Perth side this time around with the inclusion of key defenders. Skipper Rachel Frusher has recovered from general soreness and a hockey-roo will provide some experience down the back.
Carrie Somerville's coming back in and so that's really great.
The stage is set for the Hockey One finals, each team desperate to take home the silverware. But more importantly, players have loved how much this national competition has had a clear impact on the next generation.
Can actually have like some really high quality games here in Australia in front of our own little junior fans, because I think, yeah, spending most of the year travelling internationally, you kind of miss that connection, and this is a really beautiful competition to like have that connection with some of the younger ones and older hockey fans, and I think that yeah, the presence of hockey is growing.
I think it's such a great team game and some of the girls have been playing together for 10, 15 years, so it's just about that camaraderie and playing on and off the field, and I just really enjoy that part of it.
The Thundersticks and the Blaze meet tomorrow morning. The winner will play for the title in Sunday's grand final. Julian Vicentini, 7 News.
Albany's long-awaited motorsport park is one step closer to opening day. Earlier this week, riders were invited to test the dirt track. The first development stage is expected to finish mid-next year. It will include a 4-wheel drive training area, a clubhouse, amenities and revegetation. Developers are still hoping to secure more funding for a multi-purpose racetrack circuit. Julian Vicentini is back next with the weekend forecast. Then in 7 News at 6, incredible survival stories emerge from Perth's bushfire emergency. The heartbreaking extent of damage in the northern suburbs.
Welcome back. The heat wave that impacted the central, lower and southwest has been reduced, as we mentioned earlier, bringing some cooler conditions heading into this weekend. As we take a look at tomorrow's synoptic chart, a trough near the west coast and a ridge south of the state will continue to dominate the current weather pattern, but expect the trough to strengthen on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday morning may also see a chance of light showers along the south coast of Esperance, and expect some morning winds through central parts of WA and over most of the southwest land division. There's a chance of showers developing over most of the southwest land division again on Monday, as the trough near the west coast will begin to move inland. On Tuesday, the trough, though, will hover over the goldfields and eastern parts of the southwest land division, bringing some potential showers to those regions. Possible storms in the Kimberley tomorrow, 37 the top in Wyndham, 39 in Fitzroy Crossing, mostly sunny in Derby and Broome, and 33 degrees the top in Exmouth. 28 in Carnarvon, partly cloudy in Denham and Murchison, a hot 41 degrees in Morawa, and mostly sunny in Dalwallinu. 36 in Collie and Busselton, 27 in Augusta, windy conditions again in Albany tomorrow, warm in Bridgetown and Wagen, and mostly sunny in the Wheat Belt, 38 the top in Brookton, and 37 degrees in Southern Cross. Sunny in Ravensthorpe, Augusta 23 degrees in Esperance, cloudy conditions in Eucla, and expect a sunny Saturday in the Goldfields, 33 degrees in Coolgardie, and 35 the top in Laverton. To local waters, light to moderate winds on the Kimberley and Pilbara coasts tomorrow, swells around 1.5 metres on the Ningaloo and Gascoyne coasts. There's a strong wind warning for the Bunbury Geograph coast, winds set to reach up to 30 knots late at night, and there's a gale wind warning for the Lewin coast, winds increasing up to 35 knots east of Cape Lewin into the evening. Strong winds also for the Albany coast tomorrow. Winds will decrease to 25 knots before picking up again before dawn, and it will increase to 30 knots in the middle of the day. Swells up to 1.5 metres high on the Eucla coast. Taking a look around the rest of the country, possible storms in Darwin, Canberra and Melbourne. Showers, 21 degrees in Adelaide, sunny in Cooper Pedy, and mostly sunny back closer to home in Perth tomorrow, 29 degrees. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.
Thanks, Julian. And that's 7 News from regional WA for this week. We'll have news and weather updates a little later on. From all of us here, have a great weekend and good night, Western Australia.